Happy Coffee Talk Monday. Dr. Michelle coming at you. How are you? Happy Monday. Today's topic is one that I've been spending a lot more time on and at a deeper level. So, when I talk about growth mindset, I myself work on growth mindset all the time. For example, you've probably heard me talk about goal setting numerous times in different ways. But now I've taken goal setting to a new, deeper level. And that's what I want to share with you today. Yes, the long-term goal that's not too far out there is really important to have because you want to have something that you're working towards, but you also want to have the roadmap to working towards that thing. Well, here's another new concept sort of aligned with all of this. I call it the one thing principle. Let me explain. So when you go to give a presentation or write a song or learn a script or train for a sporting event, we still tend to think in like big pieces, actually, not big, but big pieces. So let me talk about that because this has been kind of groundbreaking. I'm going to use tennis as an example. So this last week, I was working with one of my tennis players, and we were talking about goal setting. And we were talking about those small goals, the small roadmap goals that are going to get you there. And I asked her, what are some things that you need to work on to get there? So she listed them off. And they were good, but still too big. What do I mean by that? I want to work on my serve. I want to work on my backhand. I want to work on my slice. Yeah, this is how we all think about things, right? Like, this is the thing that's not working. Let me work on that. Here's the problem with that. And again, I'm going to relate this back to tennis because this is my most recent example. Coaches usually talk in these terms. Okay, we're going to work on your forehand. Guess what happens? You, as a tennis player, then are thinking, okay, I'm going to work on my forehand. Get ready to go, right? Get armed, excited. And the ball comes and you're like, okay, let me work on this. And you're like, okay, the ball comes. Oh, let me work on something else. The ball comes. Oh, let me work on this third thing and fourth thing and fifth thing. So even in a matter of 5 or 10 minutes, your brain has probably fired off 5, 6 different things that you need to work on to improve your forehand. And it's jumping around from thing to thing to thing, and then maybe back to the first thing, the second thing, or whatever. This is exactly what happens. And this is one of the reasons that we struggle to get better at something. Because here's what happens when your brain is going around and round and round and not focused on one really small thing, we walk away thinking, I didn't get any better at that. And then next practice, next match, Oh, my forehand. It's terrible. Okay, here is the groundbreaking solution for coaches and for those of you that are performers. I'm going to lay it on you. You need to break that down into even smaller pieces. My tennis player on Friday, I sent her away and I said, okay, here's what I want you to do. Take all of these really great things that you have to work on, and I want you to break them down even further. And guess what? She is the first and only client in 20 years to come up with a full sheet of paper of small, tiny, broken down things that she needs to work on. Amazing. And guess what? She started working on them one at a time. This is what I call the one thing principle. Now she has her broken down list, and she can take one thing off that list and work on that one thing at practice. Look, this doesn't mean that practice is going to be totally about that one thing, but she's got her one thing that she's going to focus on when she's in that place to be able to focus on. And then the next day at practice, she can pull another one thing off her list. And then the third day, another thing off her list. And now she's working on all the small incremental pieces to get the big piece. Doesn't that make much better sense? And she started doing it, and she was like, it was amazing. I was focused. I could work on the one thing and get better at it. I said, yeah, so you can work on racket head on your forehand versus forehand. Yes, there is success in small pieces. And this is one of those critical ways. Now, she had this big, huge, long list. And I said, is that going to be overwhelming for you? She's like, no, not really. And I said, okay, well, what things do you feel like are most critical? And she said, highlight those things in a certain color, highlighter, whatever. And then maybe highlight in a different color, second tier things, so that you know priorities. So she could organize it a little bit, because I'm not kidding you. It was a page and lots of like columns of like awesome stuff. Anyway, we can't only break things down into small, specific, realistic, bite-sized pieces, but we have to go even deeper than that if we want to get better and we want to improve. This is Dr. Michelle coming at you. Have a great Monday, and I can't wait to see you here next week. Take care.